Hey, what's up, you wonderful people, and welcome back to Wondrous Lantern Gaming. I'm your host, Lantern, where I'm going to touch up on everything gaming, and in this series, I'm going to be doing tips, tricks, and things you may not have known about specific games. In this game, we're going to be touching on No Man's Sky, specifically something that I came across during the Corvette building part of the game. So, without further delay, let's get into it. Alright, so essentially there are two types of Corvette building. There's the workshop, the Corvette workshop type of building, which you have to be on a space station unless you have a mod that allows you to build a Corvette or edit a Corvette on a planet and such. Or there's the on-foot Corvette editing, meaning if I was to go into my Corvette right now and press the build button, it would come up with the Corvette configuration here. And another way to tell is on these icons, you're going to see a cockpit-like seat right there. The reason why this is important is if I go into my Corvette building right here, Modify Bloodstar, which is the name of my Corvette, notice how it says at the top right, it says 105 out of 100, warning, complexity limit breached. Which means I should not be able to leave this if I was in the regular building mode or if I was doing this the regular way. And by that I mean if I press to leave now, it will allow me to leave even though it is over capacity. It's not an accident. This is not I don't think it's really a bug. It's more of a workaround exploit from utilizing the on-foot editing versus the Corvette workshop editing. Because even though these are two different builders, they are still applying within the same Corvette limitation. It's just a workaround for something, and that something is Windows. The reason why you would want to know this kind of tip is because if you're like me and you have like a room or a side of your Corvette, or you want to place down windows on your Corvette, it is best to wait until you reach your 100 out of 100 limit, unless you don't really care. And if that doesn't matter, if you are like at 75 complexity or 85 or whatever, this doesn't really apply to you. However, for the players who do have like a ship that has 100 out of 100 complexity, this might do the trick for you, especially if you're trying to apply windows and such. So if I was to go into my Corvette build mode and go back into modify, and if I was to get rid of the windows here, notice how now it says 100 out of 100 complexity. So if I was to leave this, apply the edits, it allows me to apply, and to show you, the windows were right here. Let me go to my first person. They were right on this tab right here in front of me. If I was to go into my on-foot editing after reaching the 100 out of 100 limit and go where I want to apply my windows, in my case, my observation deck is up here, I would have to come into the on-foot, go over here, select the window I would like to apply, and place them down. However, since I am not on free mode, give me a second to switch over to free mode. There we go, selected my free mode, so now I can build freely. If I was to apply these windows, notice how they're actually applied. They're visible. I can move, and they function just how the windows regularly work in the game. And it will not glitch. It doesn't bug out. It doesn't make the windows disappear after I launch or take off or anything like that. This is because, like I said before, there are two building modes that apply with the Corvette. And I'm pretty sure that the game itself, the way that the coding works, is it cannot really delete stuff that you apply on your feet. For instance, because I'm already at 100 out of 100 complexity, or right now because of the windows, I'm now at 105 complexity out of 100. If I was to place down anything within these, they don't count towards the complexity limit, so to speak. So that's just my tip for this. If you're trying to build with Corvettes and have windows and you've already reached your maximum complexity, I would save the window building for the last and then apply it. Now, there is a caveat to this trick, or something that you really do need to keep in mind if you're going to try to apply this in your own Corvettes. Let's say I want to edit after I apply those windows, right? And that means, let's see how I have the 5 windows here. And you can tell at the top right there where it says warning, complexity limit breached, 105 out of 100. If I was to leave, it will actually allow me to leave, and it just works totally fine. However, if I was to try and do an edit after I've applied the windows, let's say if I place these up top like this, and I think, oh, I want to apply that, and I try to leave, it will not allow me to. It's going to say that it will not allow me to leave, as you can tell. Sorry, I have the HUD turned off, so it's not actually popping up the message, but I'm pretty sure the message says something around the lines of, sorry, cannot finalize the design, or something like this due to the complexity limit. The way to work around this is you want to apply your edit that you're trying to do. So remember, my parts that I wanted to edit were down here. Let's say I want to edit them over here, but I want to finalize. All I will have to do is come over here, get rid of the windows that I applied. See, now I'm at 100 out of 100. Now I can apply. And then I would have to go back up to where I want to apply my windows and then apply the windows. Oh. And like I said before, this does not bug out, it does not glitch, it does not cause issues. At least I have not come across one so far. And to prove to you that it does apply, let me modify the ship. So the edits, the fin parts here are now above where I wanted them. And look, I got the windows back. And the complexity limit is back to 105. And I can leave the workshop totally fine without any hindrance. And I will prove to you that I can actually take off and fly around, and there's no issue with the windows or the edit that I applied. Alright, gonna alt right now just so I can show you. See, there are the windows right there. And look, those fins that I wanted to apply at the top are right there. Exactly where I wanted to apply that edit. Anyways, I hope you guys liked this tutorial, these tips, these tricks, whatever you want to call them. I hope you guys have a great week. If you liked what you saw, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you want to leave a comment, please leave a comment down below. It would be much appreciated. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and as always, stay safe and stay wonderful.